Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Todd Standing. Thank you very much for tuning to my live show today. I have no idea what to expect on these live shows. I have done hundreds of live shows. I absolutely love doing them. We will be talking about the subject pertaining to wilderness nature and mostly Sasquatch, I think. Yeah. Uh, Maybe Sasquatch as they pertain to wilderness and nature. People, it's kind of unfortunate people don't ask me more nature and wilderness questions. I'm working on a deal right now that's almost at the end. It's going very well, where I'm going to do work with RV companies. Like I'm going to go have RVs out in the wilderness and use them on expeditions. But then I'm going to go to RV shows and wilderness shows and outdoor shows, and I'm going to be a guest speaker there. And the majority of what I'll talk about is not Sasquatch. I mean, that's a draw, and I think actually I know when I get out there, that's what people are going to hammer me about is Sasquatch, Sasquatch, Sasquatch. Even like what I love is when these hardcore skeptics, these great hunters that have exceptional knowledge and they're sure Sasquatch don't exist, and they'll come after me and they're going to get their asses handed to them in a debate. They always do. What they'll come to realize very quickly is whether you're a bear expert, a wolf expert, a deer expert, or an elk hunter, biologist, it doesn't matter. I'll smoke those guys when it comes to the reality of debating them and helping them understand how this species exists, because my background is I was a skeptic, and I didn't even like the word skeptic. I knew Sasquatch what didn't exist. That's not skeptics. That's not skepticism. In fact, what's the term? I was because there's proponents of something. So I was like an antagonist of the subject. What's the opposite of a proponent of something? Sorry, I'm not good at negativity. But I was legitimately, I knew Sasquatch couldn't exist. And that was my perspective. So when they come at me from that perspective, I've been there. And now I can understand and I can relate to people so well. And I think that's extremely important that that's my background. It's so important that I went through that full gambit. I didn't start out going, oh, I know Sasquatch is real. And I wasn't raised with that. And no disrespect to people that are, but that's my job is to more so than anything to illuminate people to the reality of what's true when it comes to nature and wilderness and spirituality and Sasquatch. That is my mission. Even right now, with that being said, the most frustrating thing in my whole life right now, by far, is my spirituality, is my extrasensory perception. It's the hardest thing I've ever had to do. The progress is so slow. Sometimes it doesn't feel like I'm progressing at all. It's so slow. I am. If I look back at last year, the year before, I go, oh, there's real progress. But it feels so slow when you want so much more. And the problem with the progress that I have is there are days where I'm just like on fire, like I'm just exceptional. And then it's like I take 5 steps forward and I take 4 steps back. And then again, I'll wait and I'll wait and I'll wait. And out of those five, so let's say I was uh, on a 12. Who knows what the scale is? The scale is infinite. But I'm a 12, and then I go to 17 for a day or two, and then I go back to a 13, and then 2 months later I'm a 14, and then 2 months later I'm a 15. But I still didn't get to 17. But I forget that I was a 12. That's now a 14. Do you understand? And then maybe I'll get to like 15, and then I'll have a day where I'm a 20, and I'll actually even explain to you guys how this is possible, where there's multiple examples, but like I'll be a day I went out with some incredible expeditioners. It was kind of like so Richard, the structural engineer, a lady, and then Jackie, who was an elite level telepath, an empathic human being, who's also an enormous success out in society as in business and banking. But she's this incredible telepath. I went out with her this day and I could see the Sasquatch looking at her and feeling humor with her. Like for an extended length of time, they were projecting what they were seeing into my head. I could see them watching us. And what I mean is imagine you have like a TV in your head of their vision. So I could see me and Jackie and Richard with this vision of something watching us from up in the wilderness. And that day I learned so much. It was awesome what I learned. In fact, I'm glad I brought that up. That was 2 years ago. That was a day I went to 20, and right now I'm at like a 16. I do not have that ability that I had that day. And that's the frustration is I don't look back and go, well, I'm a 16 and I was a 12. Even I was a zero. Maybe not a zero. I was a one. I had always had some value. But over the past 10 years, I've gone from a 1 to a 16. But I know what it's like to be even maybe even like a 25. It was so advanced to see these days that I get. And so to get you all up to speed, in case for all of us that know, and for those of you who don't know, they're new. Sasquatch are telepathic. Take a breath before you go, well, that's too woo, that's too out there for me. It's not, because these things are reality. They are factual, scientific truth. If you still don't believe that telepathy is real and empathic ability isn't real, you're literally living in the dark ages now. Like, you're old school. Like, you're still trying to drive around in a freaking, I don't know what. Like, you're using a horse pulled wagon when we're driving in vehicles. The advancement is significant. It truly is. So, and if you can't swallow that red pill or blue pill or whatever the heck it is, I don't do left, right. I don't like that stuff. I don't like separating people. But if you can't swallow that, then just come along, be patient, because um, if you're here and you're a skeptic, welcome. I was a skeptic. Let me illuminate you to a truth. Remember, that's my job. That's what I do. I hired myself. And you're looking at the human being who am I? What have I done? I've shown PhDs Sasquatch. Jeff Meldrum saw Sasquatch under my guidance in my movie. John Benenagel saw Sasquatch. Nobody talks about that. We don't bring it up, but he did. Survivor Man, film The Top of the Head. Survivor Man, the Survivor Man, got a whole season of Bigfoot because of what I did with him, because of the success of me guiding him to 2 different places. He had such incredible success. He got a whole other year. And why didn't that whole other year go well? Because they didn't do it my way. I'm not gonna pull any punches. They went and did some dumbass idea that some twit that lives on cement with glass house decided, and they didn't listen to a wilderness expert. If they'd have listened to me, that show would still be going on to be the best show that ever produced Bigfoot ever. So don't listen to the wilderness expert who garnered and got you there. It's you know what they did is they didn't take the advice of the man who brought them there. They said, "Oh no, what they did was every week we're going to go to a brand new place." I went, "No, don't do that." But you did that. Actually, I didn't. What I did was I've been going to Radium for 10 years and I've been going to Nordegg for 5 years. So I brought you to places where I have all this massive amount of knowledge. And in fact, what I would have done truly during that time, I had some issues with Nordegg, with flooding, and I went to Radium, so I had to go to Nordegg. It was a wonderful experience. I'm glad I did it, but I don't go to Nordegg anymore. Did you know that? I haven't been to Nordegg. Well, I do when I get burned out or flooded out. When some natural disaster happens and I can't get into the backcountry in Radium where I go, then we go to Nordegg. So I have been there, maybe 3 times in the last 5 years. But you gotta focus, man. I talked about this. I think there's a video up right now where I talk about how I emanate my success, and it is through the guidance of Dian Fossey, Broody Gattigas, and the late Dian Fossey, the late Jane Goodall, and Broody Gattigas. They're the greatest primatologists that have ever lived, and I had the pleasure of speaking with Broody. I know a great deal, and I know people who are very close to Jane Goodall. And I also was, Ian Redmond was a student of Dian Fossey's, and I learned a great deal from him in my exposure to him with Dian Fossey about what happened. So what I know is what I'm going to tell you is it was, in fact, I shouldn't say extremely. I would just tell you that if you ask them what was more important in the discovery process, was it the science? Was it the factual truth? Was it the evidence? Or was it the spirituality? And I know all of them will say number one by far was the spirituality of it. So really understand that. And I've seen Jane Goodall speak. I've listened to what she's had to say. I've watched how she's done things. Of course it was spiritual. It was a deeply spiritual experience first. The science has to come later. And that's a mistake that many people have made in discovery processes, especially when it comes to nature. You can't separate. Good luck separating passion and the love and the spirituality from the science. Like even making the science first, you just can't do that. And we know that now based on even quantum physics and the observer effects of things. I won't get into that too much, but it's It's very spiritual. If you want to go be hardcore science, I have people that are doing that. I was speaking about Richard. Richard's a structural engineer. He's massive science. On the expedition with Jackie, Jackie's massively spiritual, and they have very different experiences. And people that come on board and work with me, which are, I don't know, I'll be happy when I could say over 100. I don't think I've reached 100. I have not reached 100 expeditioners yet. I'm at about 67-ish that have been out with me on expedition. Of the 67 plus people, 36 have eyewitnessed a Sasquatch. But how does that even work? Half the people that have been out with me have seen a Sasquatch? I didn't even realize those were close to the numbers. It's not, it looks like more than half of people. Huh. Because what's happened though is people will come out year after year. Like I talk about Logan from the Discovering Bigfoot app. He has not seen a Sasquatch. He's been out with me for like 4 freaking years. He's had incredible live interactions. Logan had the opportunity to see a Sasquatch and couldn't do it. And then you get these armchair quarterbacks going, he wasn't brave enough to. Logan was out in the frickin' backcountry wilderness all by himself, sleep in a frickin' sleeping bag with grizzly bears and mountain lions, packs of wolves and moose and all the stuff that's out there. He was brave, and I would never besmirch Logan because so Logan was in his sleeping bag chilling out, and a Sasquatch Jane came up behind him. All he had to do was turn around, and he didn't really freeze up. I don't know, just the more I get it because I've been there. I've done that. I've done that after I've seen a Sasquatch 10 times, and then I did that once, So this, it's way back. I won't do that anymore because I got so much experience, but I've been there and I get it. And I've seen lots of other people do that. Lots of mistakes get made out in the wilderness, including by me. That's how we learn, right? But anyways, the point is, so it sounds deceiving. 67 people have been out with me, approximately. The number's changing, and 36 have eyewitnessed a Sasquatch. Because people keep coming out with me over and over, and sometimes someone will come on an expedition 3 times. Like Logan, this will be a 4th expedition this year if he sees the Sasquatch. But you're one of the people. Yeah, but Logan's been out so many times, and it's mostly the repeat people that are getting really incredible success. With that being said, I have multiple expeditioners too who have seen Sasquatch twice or 3 times, not more than 3. Not expeditioners. So that's what's going on out here. A lot that I'm talking about here, right? I tell you, a long time ago, way back I went on the first time I went on Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell when Coast to Coast AM was us. I don't know how big it is now. It was such a big show. It was the biggest thing I'd been on. Well, the big networks at the time that were valuable back then. I don't know how valuable they are now with the media, but it was the biggest thing. Social media wasn't big here. I'm dating myself, but there was no Facebook back then. So internet was out there, but we didn't have the big. MySpace was big. I think Facebook was up and coming. Anyways, it was the biggest thing I'd ever done. The numbers on my website, like my website crashed because I don't know, just leading up to the show, we had 600,000 people hit the website. It could barely handle it during the day of the show and after the show. We had millions of people hitting it, and my website was crashing because it was just not back at that time. Nobody got numbers like that. It was crazy. But my point is, I remember talking to Art Bell, and so I had just become famous for the species protection petition that was in Canada that I was working on. I don't remember where exactly I was with it, but I really meant it, and I was working very hard on it. It was very passionate for me to do that. So he said, it's a 4-hour show. Can you do 4 hours? Like, I can't. I don't think I could talk for 4 hours about Sasquatch. He said, okay, so we'll do some other stuff. And he figured it out. And I was right. I couldn't talk for 4 hours about Sasquatch. Those days are dead. If somebody says, hey, we do 12, I do expeditions with people for 7 days, and they leave, and a week later they'll have 100 more questions for me. And so much more to talk about. On expedition, we could talk for the 7 days straight, and we do. Question after question. The more questions you ask, the more I'll answer things. And it's really the 7 days on expedition with me, which is the minimum length of time I'll do expeditions, very minimum. People will just get it's not even the tip of the iceberg of what's going on. We literally on expedition, when an incident transpires, I'll say, okay, so we're going to do this because this happened to me and this happened to me 5 years ago and that happened 6 years ago. We're going to use those experiences to try to facilitate success under what's happening right now. Or we're not going to do what I did 5, 6 years ago and 4 years ago and 9 years ago. We're not going to do that because that didn't work. Let's do something different. So, but until an incident transpires, I won't even talk about a thing. That's literally how I run expeditions too. When people ask me questions, I'll answer everything. And when an incident transpires, I'm open up and I talk about it. But I can't talk about all the things. I've been doing this for decades. It's weird saying that because I feel so freaking young. I'm so fit, like just top physical shape. I feel exhausted right now because I'm training like 6 days a week, sometimes double days with my punk ass 16-year-old turning 17 right away who wants to be a professional athlete. So we're just working like dogs. But whew, yeah, I feel I feel really young, and I got a lot of years left in this. The great Bob Gimlin from the Patterson Gimlin footage, that man is in his 90s and he's killing it still. He's a smaller guy. Generally, smaller guys have a tendency to live a little longer than bigger guys, and I'm more like the 6'3", and he's like 5'4". I want to change that though. I want to be like I want to be like an old dude like Bob Gimlin out there. And I'm telling you guys too, because people ask me this a lot. You got to understand, I will never stop doing Sasquatch research. Every year's a win. Every year, you'll hear me complain because I'm like, I always want more, and a man's reach should always exceed their grasp. But I'm very, very ambitious, and I want this discovery so badly to grow and enhance, and it'll never stop. To date, they're learning things about gorillas and chimpanzees in the wild from observing them. Like there's new data that comes out all the time, and we see it. It's amazing. I love to learn that stuff. I want to see that with Sasquatch. I want to see people producing data and new studies and new lessons. I can't even imagine. That's why I got to tell you all. I'm not trying to be disrespectful of the incredible species that's the gorillas, the incredible orangutans, these incredible primates. This, you guys have to understand. This is just those discoveries are so superficial to the knowledge we can understand compared to Sasquatch. What's going to happen? And I'm telling you, I'm not having a discussion. This is not a debate. I'm telling you, when we discover this species, like when it's really mainstream pop culture, books are being written, papers are coming out, you know what's going to happen? Is we're going to go, no wonder we didn't find them. No wonder it took so long. They're that exceptional. They're unreal, exceptional beings, which makes me and a lot of people on here so absolutely passionate about this. My God, y'all, you gotta, for people that can't see the forest through the trees, have a look. They're right there. And anybody who takes the time enough to look at the dermal ridge evidence, to the morphology of the foot that Jeff Meldrum's put out there, just the absolute oceans of information that we have, the DNA that we have. It's really I'm gonna say this a lot from now on. I've been kind of holding back on it, but I love de facto discovery. This is the de facto discovery. This is the greatest de facto discovery in the history of de facto discoveries. Right? So it's done. It's done. Most of the people that I take out already know Bigfoot's real, especially after they come back from an expedition. They're like, yeah, 100% now. And there are people that come out that are believers and go home knowers, and I see it all the time. And I'm very happy for people that have an opened mind enough to see the success of this. Even like I haven't done this video yet, but there's this amazing guy that comes out with me every year now. He's a regular. His name's Brad. He brought out his daughter last year. So Brad has his own private expedition with me every year. He's amazing. And he's what's amazing though is he's very skeptical and he's very hard on me about stuff. And I just appreciate that so much. He expects a lot from me and pushes me to deliver and pushes me out of my paradigm and out of my safe spaces. And I just freaking love people like that. Came out with his daughter, who's very she and well, not very, she did great. It just, she was Sasquatch really, and she went home knowing Sasquatch is real. She turned out to be, she fooled me. I thought she was just, like maybe someone who likes shopping a lot and a little more of a city girl. And then she comes out and just made things happen and had this incredible exhibition. And she did so well. Like she was schooling us, like, hey, get your phones away. There's a Sasquatch over there. You can't film him. Like there was Sasquatch around us. And she made her dad put away his FLIR. She's like, just experience it, Dad. They're here. And I'm like, they're here. She goes, well, of course they're here, Todd. I can hear them. And after all the evidence that she'd seen, she became a knower that Sasquatch exists. And to see that just happen so organically, She just goes home going, yeah, there's Sasquatch out there, and it was amazing. And she's not coming back this year. That was her last year's expedition. She made incredible discoveries. She's incredibly she's just exceptional in nature. She just has a thing about her that's just amazing, and she's not coming back. She's like, yeah, I had a good year, but it is what it is. So I'm 20 minutes into the show. Man, I could talk about Bigfoot, huh? I just, it's when you get somebody who studies it all day, who does emails every day, who makes videos about Bigfoot, who just is in it so much, and I'm not even getting, I'm not even getting like half as much done. So, again, the good news to everybody: keep applying for expeditions, because what's happened now this year. So Kyle's coming out. I have forevermore. I will have an apprentice. Kyle will get to the point where he has apprentices. Mark is next. He'll be an apprentice, and then he'll have apprentices. So we're expanding like crazy. The thing is, so I used to only be able to do 33 people a year. That's 11 expeditions, including Nia Bay. And now with Kyle, it's not Kyle's only doing 2 people an expedition. So, and there's no Kyle expedition. I'm always a couple days on it. So, because he's saving me so much time, I can do a couple days to run his expeditions before he takes over. But we're taking out a lot more people, and and yeah, so there's and what's happening is Brad told me this. Just pertaining to something else, kind of like herding cats sometimes with these expeditioners. There's a lot of new people coming out, and yeah, so spaces are popping up. I just had a cancellation literally 40 minutes ago. I just had a cancellation, so boom, a spot opens up, and yeah, and expeditions with are a little less with Kyle. I'm not charging the same amount for Kyle's expeditions, and or on expeditions where it's 4 days with Kyle, 3 days with me out of the 7 days. So yeah, lots going on, and you never know what's going to pop up and how you're going to get involved. And understand too, there's a real future in this. This is when you do an expedition with me, this is an investment that will change your life. I wonder if I've ever talked about this. Huh. I don't think I've ever talked about this. And I'm going to tell you guys something I never talked about before. And I tell this to expeditioners, people that are coming all the time. This happens a lot. So this one gentleman who's a forever expeditioner, he comes out every year or two. He comes out, mostly every year he comes out. I can't name his name. But what happened was his wife was so much against it. His wife's like, you can't go do a Bigfoot expedition. And then when she found out about the backcountry wilderness of it, she was like, you're not doing this. You're risking your freaking life. It's crazy. I don't know this freaking Todd Standing guy. So it took him a year and a half of, like butting heads hard with his wife before he got an expedition. She was very unagreeable to it and pissed off really at the end of it. He said, look, I'm going to do this. And I'm sorry you're so pissed off about it, but I have to do this. So he comes out, does the expedition. It's a great expedition, like they all are. And he goes home, and his wife calls me 3 months later, upset, like getting teary-eyed. She goes, I got to tell you something, and I'm going to get through this. She goes, my husband's a better husband. My husband's a better father. My husband's a better worker. He's a happier man. My husband leads around here, and the tone he has now set, I didn't think he was capable of that. And she's crying. She's getting this out. I feel emotional even saying it. And she says, I don't know what you did, and I don't care about Sasquatch. My husband is coming out with you every year for the rest of his life because you've improved our family. Our family has come together closer, and I understand. I get it. This happens with not just men, but women, people that come out, right? They go through this. And it's really, I've become more of like this Tony Robbins guru of nature than a Sasquatch guide, than a Sasquatch researcher. I up-level people. I tell people, I want people that come out here to be like, if your perfect life is a 10 out of 10, nobody's going to get that. And you don't want that. You want some room for growth. But I want you to be like an 8 or a 9. Get your affairs in order. If you're arguing with your brother, fix it up. If you're having some money, just drop all that stuff. I want you to come out the highest capacity you can be. The highest. I usually get people that aren't, I don't want people that are looking or soul searching and can't find themselves. That's not for me to take you on an expedition. I want people that have found themselves and are just so happy with where they are. Because what happens is, like with this gentleman, we'll call him Gentleman A. He came out at a really good point, except arguing with his wife, but he came out at a really good space in his life. He was like an 8. He went home a 14. That's the change that people make. They just go up to beyond what they thought they were capable of. And I cannot teach this online. I can't do this computer. I can't. There's no online courses to do this. You have to be around old trees. You have to be around nature. You have to immerse yourself in this beautiful frequency that is wilderness and wildness and freedom that you can't experience in civilization around domestication syndrome, which I'm surrounded by right now. I don't sleep. I'm having trouble sleeping all the whole year. I don't do expeditions. I'm battling getting to sleep as exhausted as I can get physically and as much as I can ground and try to get to nature a little bit. Still sleep in a small town, and I'm just having trouble. I go up to the wilderness, man. I sleep like a baby. It's not just deep sleep. It's the serenity of the trees that love you, of the plants and the animals and the nature of the place. You just get into that frequency, and when you can immerse yourself and be vulnerable to that frequency, oh, you sleep like such a baby. No amount, and there's no drug that can do that. I've had, sleeping pills of all kinds. I've taken pot things, gummies to sleep, and sometimes I need that because it helps me. Sometimes I get bad insomnia. I get really excited about my life. I get insomnia a little bit, but I don't have that trouble out in nature. I just always, it's just such zen. It's so wonderful. And I don't even need to have a biological clock out there. I can stay up till 3 in the morning and wake up at 10 and just feel amazing. It's just like the deepest, most incredible. The reason I'm telling you this is that's what this research is about. If you're not doing that, if you're not opening up and evolving that way, you can't see a Sasquatch. You have to be at the higher than the highest that your capacity is in alignment with, and then you will see and have an interaction with Sasquatch. So that's what's going on out here. Let me answer some questions. I'm 26 minutes in, for God's sake. But I don't think I've ever talked about that on the live show. First time. So, uh, and there's a reason I haven't talked about that, but I'm glad that I was able to do that. Hello, Michael Berm from Southeast Texas. Hello, John. I saw Julie up there. Thank you. And I got your message, Julie. Julie really wanted to come to Oregon, and it's not looking it's going to work out. That sucks. But life goes on. Life happens, right? And life is full of surprises, and some of them not so good. Tim Fisher. Hi, Todd. Albany, Oregon. Again, see you in Eugene. Oh, man, I'm going to see you in Eugene. That's fantastic. I bet you Paul's on here today. There's Royal. Good day, sir. Todd. And Mod Squad Sasquatch Research Family. Man, we do so great, huh? East Texas. I just had something. I was just talking to a guy from. I get so many people. So the people that were asking for photos. Oh my God, there were so many people that wanted that free photograph, and there you hear people complaining about it. I spent 2 hours just cutting, pasting, cutting, pasting, cutting, pasting, trying to get through all these that my AI screwed it all up, getting all these people their photographs, just photograph, but then like, a lot of people say, hey, I'd like a free photo, and that's cool. Just photo, photo, photo. Most 80% are like that. 20% have these cool Sasquatch stories and have these cool experiences, or just want to say really impressive things, and I read it. And East Texas was in there about a story today. It was really cool. It caught me up. I just and then I get all these people, and I can't. And like, what did East Texas, North Texas, Oregon, Florida over here today? Read a great thing about Florida. So it's so much. I just kind of I get all over the place, and it's hard. But appreciate being here. I'm here. I'm focused with you guys. So Royal Boom says, John Amber, Sunny, are you fasting? I have, and I do. Let's say that for another. Fasting is I'll say this. Fasting is so important. It's so healthy. It's absolutely astonishing. I have a David Avocado Wolf, who's like a family member, close friend now. He's fasting 50 plus days this year on water. I don't know about that. I'm just learning about fasting. I don't ever want to do that. I like to eat. I fasted for 48 hours with my son. Oh my God, it was hard, but we had parasites. I will talk about this for a second. So I eat sushi all the time. I love, eat out in the wilderness, raw meat, all that stuff. The freaking medical system is like here in Canada, they just don't care if you have parasites. So went and got this clover, uh, walnut, black walnut, and woodworm. Incredible gut health, awesome. I should actually have the product. I'll show it to you guys one of these days. It's just I'm buying more. But man, we had a parasite cleanse. I've put on 10 pounds of muscle in 2 weeks. My son almost 15. We had such bad because we're such sushi fan. You get bad worms, I think, from sushi. I'm speculating. I'm no expert, but I think when we did the fast a month ago, we had this parasitic thing, man, and it's making me sick. It's probably one of the reasons I cough so much. I'm starting to feel so much better. Parasites are so bad, so bad. So I'm going to do parasite cleansing like every 3 months for the rest of my freaking life. Like it's a game changer. And the point is, I'd be excited now to fast, knowing that I don't have these parasites anymore. I probably had 20 years with the parasites. They just built up, and I never got it done. And I went to the doctor and complained I had all these symptoms of it, but they do all this. The testing is so hard. I don't want to do all that crap for testing, literally. And then they give you one pill to kill one kind of parasite, and there's dozens of kinds of parasites. What the hell? And I did ivermectin. I don't think ivermectin's a great parasite cleaner either. The organic, amazing way with wormwood and black walnut and even a pumpkin seed thing in it. Like, it was just such a good cleanse. I'm going to do different kinds. There was no clover in my cleanse, and I want to do one with clover next time. But oh my God. Can you imagine? Like, I've literally put on 10 pounds of muscle. Like, I'm stronger. I'm growing. And my boy, his growth was being stunted. Like, that's pissing me off. Like, why aren't medical systems should be all over this? Parasites are very, very bad. So get rid of your parasites, guys. The cleanses are awesome. There's so many of them out there. Mine is like some generic brand that just has these organic things. It actually says it's really good for gut health as well. So do your para cleanses and do your fasting. It's so freaking I am so obsessed with my health because if you're not healthy, if you're not mentally, emotionally, spiritually up, you're not gonna succeed with the discovery of Sasquatch. So you can't complain to me about, hey, why are you talking about fasting and parasite cleansing? If you're not healthy, your mind's not going to work properly, and you're not going to be able to do this. You're going to be if you're sick. Like, my car don't run if I put bad gas in it. Never mind if I put orange juice in the damn thing, it would stall and run like crap. People are doing that. They're horribly poisoning themselves. Stop eating processed, horrible fast foods. It screws up your mind. Can people not understand that? That's probably the biggest issue humanity's having right now is your freaking diet. You make rats eat that crap and they start going nuts, Like, you must understand this. Your health is so damn important. And I'm freaking obsessed with it. Like, I'm obsessed with my health. I'm a 50-year-old man, and most 20-year-olds nowadays, they can't even come close to keeping up with me. I'm fit, strong, athletic, endurance. I'm a monster out there. And I do it. It's actually my job. I've been an athlete my whole life, and it's my job to be fit and take people out on expedition. And I will inspire people. Like, we eat good, organic, amazing, healthy food the whole time we're out there, and people are inspired. They go home. I'd say 1/5 of what they learn is about how to eat properly. I mean, can you imagine? We have structured water out there. Don't get me started about the health thing, man. You don't have structured, naturally mineralized water. That's what we're supposed to eat, drink. Those multivitamins you take, you don't need them when you eat. My water is like turquoise from running off the rocks and coming out of the mountains. It's 20,000-year-old glacier water, structured. You don't even want to know about how structured water is so healthy for you. We drink that, we feel like $1,000,000. We're lit up. I don't need multivitamins anymore. It all comes from the freaking water that I drink. So there I go. The key to spiritual development is being love in action, not in competition. I can agree with that. I do. Yeah. Love, passion, but I'm a male, and I'm very competitive, especially with myself. Very goal. You heard me talking today. I'm a 16 and I want to be a 25. Like, even, I guess, the competition, I don't, yeah, I'm not very, I've never just been, I'll compete with my team versus another team. So I was a football player, high level, and I loved competing. But even when I get off the field, Matt, I admired my competitors. I love those guys because they inspired me to greatness because of the level of competition they took me up to. So I loved. I don't fear that word competition. Being love in action. Yeah, I wouldn't even. I would just end it like saying, because I don't want to knock competition. The key to spiritual development is being love in action. Period. Because I love competition. I wouldn't want to besmirch that. Hello. Are the eye shine color red? No. Or the area and group factor? No. I think maybe the eye shine would be red if you shined a white light in the face of a Sasquatch. And I can't I don't do that. I would never do that. It's never gonna happen for me. If I was ever around somebody who shined a white light, so it's dark outside, and Sasquatch have very similar eyes to us, obviously, and you're gonna shine a white light in their eyes and maybe take a picture, yeah, it'll probably be red. I'll never see that. Ever. That'll never I'd smack someone. You shine a light at a Sasquatch coming around us in the dark. You botch the whole I'm saying that because that happened once. And just like I predicted, we got nothing else out. It ruined the whole expedition. Because one person shined the light at a Sasquatch, didn't even catch him in the face. Hey Todd, have you checked out Swan Lake Bigfoot? I heard about it. I just so busy, guys. I just can't. I can't even keep up with my own stuff. I have people asking for the free photograph. I have to go Control V, paste, send. Control V, paste, send. I can't. I did that for 2 hours, and I got 1/3 of the way through. These people are upset because I told them I give them a free photograph. My AI failed, and they wanted a free photograph, and I want to give it to them. So I can't even do that. And then these maniacs that are emailing me tell me interesting stories. So now it's taking me more hours and hours to go through these emails because people are very interested. They tell me interesting stuff. I should ask one of y'all to go through my emails. I need help. You guys are my Sasquatch community. I need to ask for help more. Man, somebody else should be going through those emails, reading them all, documenting them. Who wants that job? I used to have Amanda did that, and Amanda had a really hard time through COVID, like really, really hard, where she got really sick and just it was a really bad situation for her. And I haven't got after she left. I want someone checking my emails. Send me an email, discoveringbigfoot@gmail.com. The problem is, this is despicable, is all these people are emailing me. They want they get a free photograph, and I'm happy to give it to them. And the photograph's pretty cool. It goes on your phone and stuff. I want people to show it off. It's a really cool photograph of Jane. It's a good one. But the problem is, since I can't do it, it'll never get done. That sucks. That can't be. All these people that have all these cool stories, I want them documented. I want even go through the stories and interview people. I know Phil does that actually, that does my website, but I'd like more help. If y'all have a thing you want to do, man, I would love to do that, Todd. I would love for you to do that, and I would love for you to take the resources that I have and make it your own. I would love that because we're not getting that done. This Discovering Bigfoot research is not doing that, and we have to change. This is not acceptable, and I can't even if somebody comes on and screws it all up. Well, at least we tried. We did something, right? If you ever saw One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, I'll never forget that scene with Jack Nicholson, where he tries to grab the thing and throw it through the wall, and he can't do it. And he looks back. He goes, "At least I tried. God damn it!" Right? You didn't even try. I tried, and it eventually worked later. You probably never saw the movie, most of you, but the point is, he tried, and there's some trying that's not being done, and I need help, and I'm gonna have to start doing that. There's my man. So Julie says 100%. Sorry, my man's below Julie. Julie says 100% telepathy is real. Been using it with my autistic students, right? And there was man, do I always have a story? There was this amazing. I think her name was Christine. So this lady came out with for her honeymoon with her husband, and she worked with autistic children. She was like so gifted and such a good asset. I think the doctors and the PhDs were holding her back because she didn't have a degree, and she was doing better work with the autistic children than they were because she's so telepathic. And she came out on an expedition, man. What sucks is, how do I put this? Like, her husband's a cool dude, and man, as a couple of colleagues, they're the opposites for Sasquatch research. Unfortunately, the relationship didn't work out. I don't like to see couples get divorced. So now they're divorced, and all this crap's happened. I hate it. And anyways, the husband's still around a little bit, and he's good, but he's more in alignment with the way I am, and I need help from like, as much as he needed her, I need her help as a colleague. And she's gone off, and I haven't been able to talk to her. But yeah, she worked with autistic students. She had that exceptional ability. Uh, Diane Fossey had a history with children that were special needs, so possibly autistic. Because this is Diane Fossey's from decades. They might not have had an autistic diagnosis at that time, but it's why she worked so well with gorillas, because she was used to working with people that were that couldn't verbalize, it couldn't speak, just like a gorilla. So a spectacular area to get into. So, anyways, and that's she was on the Nia Bay expedition. That lady, her and her husband came out. Can you imagine? A couple came out for their honeymoon on an expedition, and it was amazing. They loved it. I loved it. We had a great time, and because the expedition was about, so they had, they're a couple, and I won't make this very clear. It was, it was, they came out to do the Bigfoot thing and the nature, and they were just amazing, and it was fantastic. I thought it was strange, but at the end of it, I could understand why, because they both just love nature. To all the people listening, feel the feeling. It's not always going to be vocal or visual. Feel the feelings. This is coming from a Macaw elder, one of my teachers and colleagues and friends. I'll be going, so this is my Nia Bay elder, right? Maintenance worker. You changed Ent. It confuses me, the Ent 8351. I can't remember that. I just know you're maintenance worker. He does this elder. He probably doesn't like me calling him an elder, but he's an elder. He's like a grandfather, and just the maintenance work that he does is he's a maintenance worker for the his whole reserve. So he's one of those guys that goes around as a job and takes care of municipal things. So can you imagine how awesome that is? So his job is to go take care of the town, and he does. In his spare time, he hunts and loves the land and does cool stuff. And yeah, and together, he and I have been evolving as human beings together, and it's amazing. My trip to Nia Bay is uh, so spiritual, so deep, and awesome. And I'm excited to come back with you and Brian. And I appreciate your wisdom and knowledge, and I completely uh, understand what you're saying. So, hi Todd, how do I get to come there and see Bigfoot? I'm 53, and I always wanted to see one. Oh, well, I bet you it's just down here. Someone's going to put it. Uh, discoveringbigfoot.org is my website. Go to the expedition page. I bet you one of these guys, if you just scroll down, one of these amazing people will have a link up there. So, hello, Mr. Penner. So, Mr. Penner is a close personal friend of mine from Kamloops, British Columbia, who we've worked together for years. Very, very, very personal. And what? Holy crap. So James is talking about my numbers. 3 million views, 600 videos. I must have, sorry, James, I must have like way more than 3 million. I have a single video that's got 2.7 million views. So I definitely have 600 videos. Yeah, it's a lot. Is it 600? That's crazy. Anyway, James knows Brian because he came down to Nia Bay last year and made it very personal. All these expeditions I do are very, very personal. That's how can you be spiritual on an expedition and transparent like Sabe insist upon, Sasquatch insist upon, and not get personal? That you can't do it. It's not possible. So these expeditions are very, very and so hard. Listen to this. So 2 years ago, 2 expeditions ago, so I've been going to Nia Bay. This will be like my 5th or 6th year in a row. But 2 years ago, like I'm so happy there. I have such a place there. It's so nice to have indigenous people that I'm so connected with, like family. And I learned so much from them. They learned so much from me. It's incredibly symbiotic. Like what an uplifting experience every time I go there. So 2 years ago, 2 expeditions ago, I promised that for the rest of my life, I told the Sasquatch and I told the Nia Bay natives and the people that are there, I will be coming here for the rest of my life, once a year at least, because I'm so connected to it. This is how personal it is with Nia Bay. Listen to this. I'm a father first. That's the number one thing about me in my whole life before I'm a Sasquatch researcher, which is probably number 2 in my life. But I took my children out to Nia Bay just on the last year's expedition. It was their first time out there, like with me, and they were getting to know all the people and everything. My children just loved the place. They'd be surprised. They're from my blood, from my DNA, raised by me. They just loved it. They just felt all the connectivity. My son was nuts. He went like, I he came out where he wasn't supposed to come out on a little night walk that we did, and he was talking to the Sasquatch, and the expeditioners are like, what? Like, I thought this was Todd Standing running this expedition. Who is this kid, this 15-year-old punk that's talking with this, like, he would say stuff and the Sasquatch would respond. Oh, knock twice. Clock, clock. Oh, I'm so excited to see you. And Thaden would like scratch a tree, and the Sasquatch would scratch a tree back. Like we're watching this like in our jaws if we hit the floor. And so anyways, and my daughter, she's 7. She found there's a family there and there's a little boy, and she just had the time. My daughter's like, she's gonna be famous. Like, whoa, like people are gonna know her name for the first time ever. I'll tell you, Tatiana Standing. I don't know what she's gonna do. Actually, she's a gymnast now, and it's unbelievable the stuff that she's doing. It's just that she's such a ball of energy. It's absolutely awesome. There's a video of her, one or two. I've got some videos that I put up of my Sasquatch stuff when she's out in the research area. But there is something incredible about that little girl. That's like, my son is exceptional. My daughter, I don't even. She's like right off the chart. I can't believe the stuff that she does. If I started telling you about the things that she's doing, the capacity she's doing, she's actually taught me this is not her first time on this planet. Like, she's been here before. She has knowledge of things that she can't know. She knows to give me. She found sage and she put it in tea and healed me when she was like 5. How did she do that? She comes home with a special uh, mushroom. She's, Dad, we need this mushroom. We got to go home with it. This is so important. She's a 4-hour drive. She holds on to this mushroom the whole time. We come home from an expedition. She won't even let me unload the equipment. She goes, immediately, Dad, go look up this mushroom. It's a gem-studded puff mushroom that's for lung health. How did she know that? There's 100 kinds of mushrooms out there. We come across this one particular mushroom. She picks it up. She's 6. How did she know that? It's impossible. So, and there's 50 things I could go on all day. Stuff this little girl does that's just beyond the capacity of what I know and understand for a being to have those capabilities. And I guess it's kind of similar, like a spider's born and it builds an intricate web, right? My daughter has these gifts that are unreal, spectacular, as a healer, as a feminine, as a naturalist, organic out in the wilderness. She just flows brilliantly. And I don't want them to do Sasquatch research. Why am I laughing? Because my son is running 2 expeditions in 2028. It's a done deal. So he's an exceptional wilderness expert. He was born and raised tracking and studying species and animals. Next year he'll be over 200 pounds. He'll be 6'3" minimum. Pretty big dude for. Actually, that's not true. He'll be like 230 or something. He's a big dude. He's getting big, and he'll be running expeditions. He'll be apprenticing under Kyle with Mark. So we're in 2026. So it'll be 2027. Gotta get my years straight. So it's a done deal. He's got the gig. It's gonna happen. So yeah, that's what's going on. And remember, I don't want, my son's not going to really be a Sasquatch researcher. He's a wilderness person, and he'll do guides, tours with Sasquatch. He's got incredible knowledge of them. He's seen them many times and exceptional abilities. He could really pass stuff on to people. But I don't want him to do that. I don't want my daughter to be a Sasquatch researcher. So, but do I have a choice? No. They're raised with this. Their father is, I am a full-time Sasquatch researcher. That's my job, period. So, and I love it and I'm passionate about it. What do you expect your children are going to do? I will try to steer them away from it. Double tap, everyone. I don't know what that means. Oh, maybe just to say I like. That's cool. Good to hear Brian. So Brian and James are talking. Melissa Barrows says hi. Oh, Nicole, hey, 2 weeks in a row. Yes. Welcome. I'm just getting back. Nicole saw Sasquatch and had her sighting substantiated with track evidence. So, and I didn't need to see the tracks. I knew there was a Sasquatch there. I literally, so it was a moment where I would say I probably got up to that. Here's a moment I was talking about. I probably got up to an 18 in the moment that Nicole's Sasquatch came around. My job was to keep everybody in the right places and move slowly and just read from the Sasquatch. And he was in my head and he was telling me, I'm here for her. I don't know who he's talking to, because I had Amy, Ashley, and Nicole out there. And then obviously it wasn't Nicole's husband, John, but I could tell he was there for one of the feminines. He was there for a particular feminine and something was supposed to happen. I couldn't figure that out because the mind speak wasn't clear to me. Then Nicole, so my job wasn't to see the Sasquatch. My job was to keep everybody in alignment, keep everybody safe. I know there's a Sasquatch there. Then Nicole sees the Sasquatch, and then she has her reaction that the Sasquatch expected, and then everything falls into place after. So my job was just to ensure the fluidity of what the Sasquatch wanted to happen. He wanted Nicole to see him, and it was a him. And and he was younger. And that was the whole purpose of that moment. Nicole was ready, and it was her time, and she saw a Sasquatch, and just that's it. Have a nice day. And then Nicole. So he left a couple tracks for her that were very easy to find. Right where she saw the Sasquatch, there are two vividly clear Sasquatch tracks. Remember what I'm telling you to listen to me. He left those there because he knew she needed a little more substantiation, especially in the moment, because you have your doubts. Things go through your head. What am I seeing? Am I hallucinating? Am I delusional? Like, what the hell? Like, these intelligent, amazing people that I take out, they're not, oh, there's Sasquatch, ever look, this is us. They're not, it's nothing like that. These are very intelligent, very grounded, very spiritual, very impressive people. Nicole has an amazing relationship with her husband. He's very successful. She has great children. She has a wonderful, incredible, happy life. Probably as what that was talking, 9 out of 10 happy in her life. Like you know what I'm saying, Nicole. Like, man, you've been through stuff, right? Like, you've made some changes in you that I know, and I'm not going to share, that are very personal, but you shared them with me, and you earned your spot out there. And the Sasquatch came to you. The Sasquatch called you. The Sasquatch wanted you out there. You know all this stuff. She knows. So, and you needed those tracks, and you got them. I saw like her take a breath of relief when the tracks were there, because she was thinking, oh, you guys are going to say I'm crazy and blah, 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 because she gets that kind of cognitive dissonance out in the rest of the world. We weren't going to give her that. But the Sasquatch left her those tracks. What a gift, huh? Like, what a gift. It's just, they're such masters that they just know exactly what they need to do, exactly how they need to do it. And they gave that lady everything that she needed. And I'm not even the least bit surprised. That's what happens over and over and over on Expedition. It's absolutely spectacular. So, hey, sound better. Did you get over that cold okay? It's the para cleanse that I did. So there you go. There's Julie. Sometimes Julie doesn't seem like um, I don't want to say this. She's such a friend of this that I forget that she's a moderator. And if you tick her off, she's gonna kick you off the damn. I'm sure Royal or somebody else will get you first, because Julie's obviously very feminine. And she's nice, and she's got that feminine personality. I can just feel it in her. But there you go. Just oh wait, no, that's not correct, Julie. So it says discoveringbigfoot@gmail.com/expeditions. So discoveringbigfoot@gmail.com is my email address. Discoveringbigfoot.org/expeditions would be the link. So I'm sure somebody else saw that. So it's Discovering Bigfoot. If you just punch in Discovering Bigfoot and then put .org, you'll guaranteed get to the website, and then just click on the expeditions page. Are you going to obtain more footage to share sometime? Yes, we appreciate what you do. Yeah, it's got to come in organically, and we're just taking it step by step. So it's a lot. It's something that I think about, and something I talk about. I work out a lot in the wilderness, and yeah, I just got to figure it out. So Alpha Omega says Sasquatch said hi. Tim Fisher says February is right around the corner, Todd. It is. What's in February, Tim? Oh, that's the at the end of February is Oregon. I'll be down in Oregon. We want another follow. We want another follow up to Discovering Bigfoot. Yeah, and it's coming out in April. Discovering Bigfoot Part 2 has been made into a television or into a series, not a television series. I don't know if television exists anymore. Are you still using a drone? I have it. Right here. The most elite, top notch, the DJI Maverick 3T, elite of the elite. Yeah, I use it a little bit. I really you want to hear me be a jerk? So I love elk. I love the deer. I love the wolves. I'm such a power. I love Douglas firs. Lodgepole pines are my favorite trees. I love junipers. I don't really like bears that much. Bears are a pain in the ass. Bears kill people. And I'm happy that bears are out there, and I know they have the place, but me and bears, just I'm not a bear guy. I have expeditioners who love bears and want to see them, and that's great. I don't like the buggers. They're harassing. I got to keep on them. So why am I telling you this? Because when I see a bear, I'm gonna drone his ass all day long. I want to get in a spot where I want to fly drones. I want to piss off a bear really badly. I actually had that opportunity last year. There was a black bear who looked like a devil. He had like pointy ears, and so we're flying the drone, and I can see him, and he's looking up at the drone. He's like, I'm a mile and a half in the air. I can't get lower because then I lose signal. Understand? So and he's far away from us, but he's foraging, he's pissed, he's cranky. I'm like, let's go have some fun with this bear. So we get in the truck and we drive over to where he is. He took off. He was gone. We couldn't find him anymore. I'll tell you though, I wanted to get within like a mile of him. I was probably 4 miles away, so I really couldn't lower the drone more than, a mile and a half down before I lost signal. But I wanted to get over there and I wanted to freaking right over his head and charge at him. And I could come like 15 meters above. I could zip down and go and really piss him off, right? So I would love to have harassed that bear. That's me being a brat. That's me being a pain in the ass. Is it illegal? Probably. You're not supposed to harass wildlife. That's not cool. I just not a bear guy, and I never will be. And so my teacher was such a bear guy. He was famous for it. They called him Musqua, and his native name is Two Bears, which means grizzly bear, black bear. He's an expert. He's a bear guy. And Jason Shute is a bear guy. He got a bear as his spiritual animal out on expedition up in the Radium area. So, just cool. I don't hate bears, but they're like on the scale of favorites. Like I like wolverines more. I like birds more. I like squirrels more. I can't think of an animal I like less than bears. Is it to say I don't appreciate them? Sure. And do they belong there? Yes. Would I want them protected? Absolutely. They're part of nature, but just you have your favorites, right? And they are like, I like weasels more than I like bears. I like pine grouse better than like bears. I can't think of an animal that I don't like better than, and black bears and grizzly bears are right. I think it's black bears are my least favorite. Grizzly bears are my second least favorite. And then you got the squirrels, and you know what? I dislike mosquitoes more than I like bears. That I found one. That's hilarious, right? If I said I like mosquitoes more than I like bears, then because a bastard mosquito, right? Then we'd have a problem. But a little bit of comedy. Okay, let's do some questions. We used the drone in October on expedition. There you go. My expeditioners can answer. And it's really advantageous. I don't really think we expect to see Sasquatch. Sasquatch aren't going to get caught by a drone. It's just not going to happen. But it's nice to look at the ecology, check out the animals around. So you still look young and still strong. I feel so young and fit. And oh my God. When's the last time you laid eyes on a Bigfoot? Oh gosh, like just recently. I don't know. No, was it November? No. October on the third last expedition I saw Sasquatch. Well, on the October expedition with Nicole, I saw that Sasquatch. I don't know what to tell you. Like I saw him coming. What's happening is I see the Sasquatch there, and I'm watching the expeditioners. I got to talk. This will be so I'm not going to be able to answer any more questions. I'm going to talk about this. I know that Sasquatch is there. I feel him. He's mind speaking with me. He's actually like we're friends. We're buddies. And he tells me, "I'm not here for you. I'm after the lady." And he's trying to communicate the lady, and I can't figure out which one it is. In fact, I knew it wasn't Ashley. I knew Ashley was on the corner, and Ashley is more like she's more like a guide. Right? She's how many times Ashley's seen Sasquatch? 8 times, 9 times? I don't even know. So, and she was having a wonderful relationship with these two, Amy and Nicole, amazing ladies. So they're all having there's a video like up on Instagram and YouTube and stuff of them all hanging out together, and I'm interviewing them. They were just like peas and carrots. So it wasn't Ashley's turn. The Sasquatch came for either Nicole or Amy. So I'm looking, and so once I know the Sasquatches, and I knew the Sasquatch, really, it's like so much confirmation. I see him, and I'm at the top of the crew. So I've got us all set up. I got Ashley on the far side, and I'm on the other side, and everybody's moving exactly as I say so. The Sasquatch comes in. So I looked at him. I was like, okay, there he is. And this is what happened. I see the Sasquatch, and I'm waiting for destiny to fall into place. He knows which lady's going to see him. He knows. This is all he knows is going to happen. They are the masters out there. They're the boss of the mountains. All those native terms, they are elite. Imagine it like this. My teacher is coming. One of my teachers is coming. A master of the wilderness is coming, and I'm a student of his. And I say, Master, so I know you're there. What's going to happen now, Master? What happens? Who's going to, and I can be surprised. He could have been there for John. He could have been there for Ashley. I was on the right track, and I was getting the right feelings. So I look at him, and then I'm waiting for the event to happen. And now I'm more watching my expeditioners. And then it was Nicole. You can see Nicole. Nicole just went like she just changed. She just went, she exploded with emotion. And I go, oh, it was for Nicole. And I look over at Amy. Amy doesn't know what's going on because it's not for her. Ashley had her thing. I don't think Ashley ever really even told me to the extent of the success that she had there, and why didn't we have that discussion? Because Ashley knows it wasn't for her either. It was for Nicole. It was about Nicole. It was Nicole's moment. So Ashley isn't going to steal that. So you see, myself and Ashley, it doesn't. We're not there. It's not our moment. It's greedy for us to go. I want to see the Sasquatch. I've seen the Sasquatch 100 times, and Ashley's you're if you can't be there if you're not in the frequency of what the Sasquatch is setting up by destiny to transpire. So all of us, even John, her Nicole's husband, he's in his place. He's exactly not seeing the Sasquatch. Sasquatch probably blocking him. Like, I don't know. He probably couldn't see that Sasquatch. He was not ready for that. She was. That's what she came there for. And we let it all happen. And you understand too how that when you give the Sasquatch what he wants, he called Nicole there, Nicole came on expedition, Nicole, we let out there, everything fell into place on so many levels. I can't even tell you the 40 things that happened that were absolutely amazing for that incident to transpire with all of us. Everything falls into place. The Sasquatch manifests this truth into reality. We got to be a part of it, and it was a wonderful experience. And we all up level from it. And the Sasquatch, it's also karma, right? When I'm out there and I'm being Nicole and everybody's guide and keep everybody safe. Well, now I've given back to the community. I've given back to Nicole. I've given back to the people. And now what I've taught goes back out into the world and resonates in a very special way that's beyond my understanding. You want to ask why it happened? Pray to God, and God will tell you because God knows better than I will. But so, long story short, it's and there's more that I'm not going to talk about for a long time that's happened on another expedition. I don't know if I'll ever talk about it. So, but yeah, I've had some good sightings, some good moments, some good interactions with Sasquatch in October. Right till the end, I was out there getting really good success with them. So, long story long, the bigger you are, the harder you fall. I don't want to see a Sasquatch fall. Let's whip down here and just see what's going on. Lots of good questions. So, the very last question on the very bottom, SC Pad Adventures. You didn't think you were going to get your question answered. Good night, Todd. Stay safe on your expeditions, Todd. Been on the back burner for the last 4 years supporting your channel. Oh, thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. So good karma to you. And look at all this puss. Love the beard, Todd. Love your ventures. I can feel they always see me. What a cool, very wise thing to say. So thank you all very much for tuning into the live show. Wow, what a pleasure. Got some stuff off my chest today that I've never talked about before, and I just do that because it's because you all are you're pulling and you know what? You guys were ready. Congratulations, you manifested it. I didn't have a choice. Got some great information on the show today. It's my pleasure to share that stuff. We gotta share this. We gotta get this out there. I love it when I hear people say, "I got one of your pictures and I show my friends, and I saw your movie and I tell people about it." I feel, and we got to understand this. I want to say this just in closing. I feel that that truth helps humanity. That's why I'm here, is to do humanity a favor, to up-level human beings who are big-time stewards of this planet. And that's what this is all about. So when I hear the truth of Sasquatch is expanding, the photographs that are part of the Discovering Bigfoot project, who gives a crap where they came from or how they were shot? The fact that they're going out there and they're making the world a better place is the purpose of everything that is to do with the discovery of Bigfoot. It's all the way back from Patty to any significant evidence, all the way the dermals, the tracks they've left for us, the videos that I was able to film. It's all for the betterment of humanity. So yeah, even now people are calling me, oh, they're using your videos, they're using this footage, they stole that stuff. I don't even, it's good. Let them. What power do they have? This is a little bit religious, but I actually know this to be true. The only power they have over me was given to you from above, or was earned through destiny. Maybe I'll add that to it, right? That's biblical, you know, and I know that to be true. So I look at it. People are People are taking my footage. I'm not going to say stealing it anymore. I don't want to use that word. They're taking it, they're putting it, they're using it for the better. If people used it like, hey, let's kill a Bigfoot, and then they put it out there, that would tick me off, and I would go after that. But all the time I've ever seen it, they're not talking about Bigfoot. They know Bigfoot's real, and they're using it to promote the reality of Sasquatch. What am I going to say? That's what it's for. If you do that. In fact, let me say this in closing. Think about this a lot. These. I'm so proud of these. I've got like half a dozen of these. The Jake and Jane and the Kubota. More 20 different video stills and photographs. If you're a Sasquatch researcher, or even if you want to be, I don't know, or even if you want to go to one of these festivals, you should go sell these. I'll tell you all this. I'll make you all a deal. I really want to do this. So if you're going to a Sasquatch festival, I don't know, if you're not even a guest speaker, if you're just selling stuff, why don't you just take these? I'll send them to you, and you can just sell them. If you make some money, you want to give me some money back, that's cool. But you know what I would really like? You know what I would love? You know what made me so happy? Is if these were all over people's walls all over the world. Like beautifully framed photographs of Sasquatch. Like I have it in my office. I think they're magnificent. So if you want to go, any one of you says, hey, somebody was just telling me, hey, there's a festival in Tennessee. Why don't you get a spot and sell these? Sell them. Sit there and say, hey, who are these are Todd Standing's. I'll show you. I'll send them off to Staples, the originals. They'll print them off as long as we're the Staples everywhere. 11 by 17s. And then you can go on Amazon for like $5 a crack. You get these gorgeous black frames. Here's the frame. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going a little over time, but this is important to me. I'm talking to all you out there. I'm talking to you, Julie. I'm talking to Brian from Nia Bay. I'm talking to Royal. Look at these. Why don't you guys go to Sasquatch? Like these are the in Jeff Meldrum. So the great Jeff Meldrum says, if indeed these are real, and at the end of he knows they're real. We know they're real. These are real Sasquatch video stills, photographs. They're the greatest collection of evidence of Sasquatch in existence. Survivor Man just went on a show a couple months ago talking to Stacey Brown. Not saying these are real, but if they are real, they're better than the Patterson footage. I don't know if I agree with that, but that's I'm just telling you his opinion. So you can go there saying, Todd Standing says they're real. He takes out people and shows them Bigfoot. They've seen this Bigfoot many times. They've seen Jake. They've seen Sasquatch that look like Jake, and they've seen Jane personally. So go to those places, man. And if you're doing this live show, Royal, Julie, I don't know how many people are on here. Nicole, you've been on an expedition with me. You can go to any Bigfoot show. You don't have to be. You can be a speaker. Say, hey, I got this experience. Nicole, you could go to a Bigfoot conference. This is important, guys. Kyle, if I call Kyle, get your button gear, man. Get out there. Kyle's been working with me for like 4 or 5 years. Go to these things. You'll get a guest speaker spot. Why not? Even Julie and Royal, why can't you speak about Bigfoot? I'll tell you, right? You know how you go that dub the, like, you knife somebody? I dub all of you. Sasquatch, research, helpers, assistants, part of the Discovering Bigfoot Cooperation. Go get these out there. What are we waiting for? Like, I'm actually pissed. I don't know. I'm trying to do the business of putting these out, and it's frustrating. Man, if you went to Sasquatch festivals and stuff and sold these, I mean, it's got to be these here, all transparency. This beautiful. Like, look at this thing. Look at the card color. Look how beautiful that is. I mean, that's gorgeous. These, I think you pay about $2 a crack for these. You sell them for 10. Right? Who wouldn't buy that? This is amazing. But what's the secret? Shh, don't tell nobody. It goes up on their wall. And then people start talking about it. Where'd that come from? That's that Todd Standing guy. That's that Discovering Bigfoot research thing. What's going on with them? Like, it's the energy. You guys have to understand, the Sasquatch gave me this. They gave me this to put it out there. And anybody who has the heart enough to look at that and see the truth will recognize the truth and feel into it and know that's truly a Sasquatch. If they can't, if they look at it and go, that's fake, that's blah, 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 that's an Ewok, the other stupid crap people say, that's a reflection of them. Don't be afraid. It's just them showing their dishonesty, their deceit, their lack of being able to see the truth when it's presented to them. And you take a little TV monitor and put Discovering Bigfoot on it. with Jeff Meldrum and John Benedict. John Benedict says, I am firmly convinced that these are, Todd has filmed portraits of the Sasquatch face. That's a wildlife biologist, PhD, that spent months out in the wilderness with me. That's his testimony, right? I mean, what do you say? And then if I was to interview Nicole and Logan and Jonathan and James and Jason and all these people, like the 36 people that have seen a Sasquatch with me, we could have a little thing going. Yeah, I've seen a Sasquatch. Todd's works legit. Of course, it was a real Bigfoot, right? 36 amazing human beings. Even more than that, of the 67 people I've taken out, most of them, if they didn't see a Sasquatch, they had a live interaction. By far, it's very rare we don't at least have that. And then people that didn't have a live interaction saw the Penner Playground, saw tree breaks, saw tracks, saw structures, saw evidence that has convinced them that Sasquatch are real, because they are intelligent human beings that can't be fooled by manure and crap. They're going to see the reality and go, wow, they're real. So, and these are the byproduct of that awesome discovering Bigfoot research that has grown into this gorgeous thing, Survivorman and Jeff Meldrum and John Bennernagel and Garth from California, who's one of the top surgeons in the world, and Dr. Alexander Drofa, who's come out with me with his son, one of the top brain surgeons in the world, and had incredible live interactions and knows I'm real. Like, it just, the list goes on and on of the awesomeness of this. So let me put that out there fearlessly. I ain't playing. Send me an email, put some stars or something, because I'm getting thousands of emails to discoveringbigfoot@gmail.com, and say, hey, I want your stuff. Let's do this. Let's work it out and see what happens, right? Wouldn't that be fun, Julie? Royal? Who else is here? Who's on today? Got Julie, got Royal, James. Wouldn't that be cool? You could actually, you know how they're just people, really cool people, I always respect them, that are there selling Sasquatch stuff. Like, I don't know, get some t-shirts. I've had t-shirts and hats. You can have all that stuff. I think the photos they're just the key. Like, put up, like, if you had a table and you put up 12 of these Kubota, Jake, and Jane photographs, right? And they're all beautifully framed. Even what's cool is what I wanted to do. This is way over time, sorry. Is I wanted to make these wood frames. So you can take a piece of beautiful stick that's decently straight. If you cut it properly, you make this beautiful wooden authentic frame that goes around them. So there's all sorts of different cool ways to frame them. I just use that quick, easy plastic thing. But, that would be a thing too, to just frame them brilliantly, right? So much going on here, guys. Anyways, I want to put that out there. It's really been bothering me that I feel like there's a clog. It's not flowing properly. And Sasquatch, like, you got to get it out there more. And then when I see people that have these up around their house and they're just so proud of them, and people come in, they talk about it. The expeditioners especially, man, I was out with that Todd Standing guy. I know the man. I bled with the man. Like, I've been out with him. I spent 7 days, 6 nights with the dude. Met his family. Like, I know the guy, right? And all of you can just, I've been Julie. I've never met Julie. I've never met Roy. You guys can just say, I know Todd Standing. Like, when I go on Todd Standing's live show, most of the questions I can just answer them, because I've done. You're Todd Standing certified. I don't know what. Not even that. I don't like that. You're Discovering Bigfoot certified. When you speak with Todd Standing, Jeff Meldrum, Survivorman, John Bennernagel, James Penner, Brian from Nia Bay Elder. You speak for all of us. All of us as this cooperation. You all speak, right? So go do that. I'm telling you, I ain't playing with this. I'll send you all this stuff. Get it done. It's very simple. In fact, I'm not even going to do the Staples thing. If you are going to send me, tell me you're going to a Sasquatch festival, send me that email. I will simply send you. You can get your own butt down to Staples to save me some time. Go down to Staples. Just tell them these are all built for 11 by 17s. Go find 11 by 17 frames. Aren't hard to find on Amazon. They're about $3 a crack. The black ones. You can find whatever frames you want. You don't have to sell them with frames you don't. You save money by doing that. So we'll go to a festival, and what you'll do is, all of you've been certified and you're so educated about what I've been teaching. If you've seen my movies, this will be the one thing I want. you've had seen all 4 episodes of Survivorman Bigfoot starring me, Essential. Watch them a couple times. Man, those are highly educational. I put my heart and soul in those, and those are very valid. Watch my YouTube videos when you can. They're pretty informative. And then watch the movie a couple times. When you've watched the movie a couple times, you've seen those episodes of Survivorman Bigfoot, play those on a laptop. Have a laptop going, or even just get a little TV screen. play Survivor Man Bigfoot. That's, yeah, all these photos were featured on Survivor. You never heard of Les Stroud, Survivor Man? Yeah, kind of a big deal, right? He went out with this man. This is what he has to say. Like, be authentic and be truthful. But let's do that. Let's expand. So I gotta go. 15 minutes overtime. Never did that before. Thank you all very much for tuning in today. Let's propagate that. Let's talk about it. Let's share it with people. I want to put it up on the website. I want to do a video about it. So, but I still have to do my stuff with Paul for the Oregon thing. So I got a list of things to do. But that's in the future. That's coming up. I'm going to start doing that. I would love to start propagating that. So y'all take care. More to come. Thursday, there'll be a video for sure tomorrow and on Sunday. So lots coming up. Thank you very much for tuning in. Take care. Bye for now.